faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman!
Superman is back and he kicks ass. This movie blows Superman Returns out of the water. Who cares if the story is predictable and Superman's animated like crap? He kicks ass. And there's a Kevin Smith cameo. A Kevin Smith cameo. Can I get an amen? Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let me give you an objective opinion about Superman Doomsday, which was released on the 18th of September on DVD. Now, for those of you who are acquainted with the DC animated universe, this is going to be pretty much like going home. The character designs are slightly different. Superman has some cheek lines now that kind of make him look like Steven Seagal, but other than that, everything is familiar. Also, Jimmy Olsen has a little earring which kind of comes and goes because in some scenes he has it, in other scenes he doesn't. This movie is like the PG-13 version of the DC animated universe. What that means is that the fight scenes are way more brutal, there's a lot more blood and a lot more violence, and also the relationship between Superman and Lois has evolved to the point where they're having the sex. Now, Superman is voiced by Adam Baldwin, who does an okay job. Lois Lane is voiced by Anne Heche, who starts off kind of rusty but gets better, and Lex Luthor is voiced by James Masters, who I think does the best job. Also, Lex Luthor is presented in a much more excessive way, meaning that suddenly his obsession with Superman has this homoerotic twinge, because when you have Lex Luthor calling Superman beautiful, it gets kind of creepy. Now, if you're a fan of the Superman animated series, this movie is going to be great. It just has more of everything that we like. More fights, more intimacy, more mature storylines. If you're not a fan of the show, of the animated series, if you're not a fan of Superman or the DC animated universe, chances are that you're really going to like the first and the final act, but you're gonna get kind of bored in the middle, because the middle is all about Lois Lane and how Lois Lane and the world deals with Superman. But I hope that by that time you're so much into the movie and into how the plot progresses that you're not going to care that suddenly there's not so much fighting anymore. Now, by the final act, I think you're going to pretty much know how the story will end, and that's why I think that the movie is a bit too predictable for its own good. Also, I don't understand why it's called Superman Doomsday, since Doomsday is not that much in the movie. A much more appropriate name would have been The Death of Superman, because 2/3 of the movie are the death of Superman and how the world deals without Superman. Another thing to like about the movie is that there are a lot of little nods to the Donner movies and to the Superman animated series and so on and so forth. Superman Doomsday, in a nutshell, explores certain aspects of Superman personality. The protector, the warrior, and to a lesser degree, Superman Doomsday explores certain aspects of Superman's personality. The protector, the warrior, the messiah, and to a lesser degree, the lover. Now, if you're a fan of the character, you're going to love this movie. If you're not a fan of the character, then at least you're going to be entertained, because it is a good quality animated movie.